Hello everybody, I am Rania Badry, Assistant Lecturer at Physics Department, Faculty of Human and Shams University. Our talk today will be about the detection of ammonia, hydrogen sulfide, and hydrogen bromide gases by carboxymethyl cellulose sodium zinc oxide nanocomposites, a theoretical study. Firstly, I would like to thank my supervisors from Ain Shams University, Professor Nadra Abdelatif Nada, Professor Mahmoud Mohammed Al-Nahas, Professor Hanan Gouda El-Hayth, and also I would like to thank Professor Medhat Ibrahim for giving me this chance to contribute in the third international conference on molecular modeling and spectroscopy. Let's start with our content. Introduction, aim of the work, calculation details, building model molecules, results and discussion, and conclusion. Starting with polymer nanocomposites, which is a new class of particle-filled polymers, consists of two or more materials. As we see in the picture, one of these materials has at least one dimension in the nanoscale. Research has suggested that nanocomposites based on polymer and metal oxides enhances the properties of the polymer so far and can be applicable in food industry, cosmetics, solar cells, paper and plastics, wastewater treatment, sensing, agriculture, remediation of dyes, and so on. Most of natural polymers, especially polysaccharides, have potential applications in solar cells, sensors, electric double layer capacitors, and in general optoelectronic devices because of their properties such as compatibility, biodegradability, stability, lack of toxicity, and low cost. One of the most interesting polysaccharides is carboxymethyl cellulose sodium and usually recognized as cellulose gum. Also, it is one of cellulose derivatives and derived from cellulose through alkalization process followed by carboxymethylation process. As CMC has a very important characteristics including non-toxic, inexpensive, biocompatible, biodegradable, good mechanical and thermal stability, is considered a very important polymer for everyday life, and this is the chemical structure represented CMC. Simply, our work aims to study the electronic properties of CMC and CMC zinc oxide nanocomposites, also study theoretically the application of CMC zinc oxide nanocomposites as a sensor for ammonia, hydrogen sulfide, and hydrogen bromide gases. All calculations were carried out using density functional theory as implemented in Gaussian 09 software at Spectroscopy Department, National Research Center. Model molecules representing dimer CMC and its nanocomposites are subjected to optimization at P3 lib LAN L2DZ level of theory. For building model molecules of CMC and CMC zinc oxide, two units of CMC, which is dimer CMC, and one zinc oxide molecule are supposed to interact with each other as complex and adsorbed state. As we see in this figure that the CMC structure consists of a lot of functional groups, which are the hydroxyl groups present at the terminals and along the chain, and also the O linkage between the two units of CMC, and finally the carboxylic group present within the structure. And thus there are a number of probabilities for the interaction of zinc oxide with the dimer CMC structure. Results and discussion. The activity of the molecules will be best described in terms of total dipole moment and HOMO-LOMO band gap energy. Thus, Table 1 and Table 2 represent the changes occurred in both physical quantities as a result of the interaction of CMC with zinc oxide in the different positions of interactions through both complex interaction and weak interaction. As we see that as a result of the complex interaction between CMC and zinc oxide, total dipole moment of dimer CMC increased to nearly triple its value and equal 35 dpi. And also HOMO-LOMO band gap energy decreased to nearly half its value for the interaction proceeds through the terminal hydroxyl groups present at B2. Also for the weak interaction, similarly, total dipole moment increased and reached to 30 dpi, and HOMO-LOMO band gap energy decreased to half its value, which refers to that the interaction of CMC with zinc oxide enhances the reactivity of CMC and increases the electronegativity of the structure. To confirm the results of total dipole moment and homo-LUMO band gap energy, molecular electrostatic potential were also calculated for dimer CMC and CNC interacted with zinc oxide. As a result of the study, it's clear that the intensity of the red color increased within the structure of dimer CMC as a result of the interaction with zinc oxide, and this is an indication of the increasing the electronegativity of CMC and hence the reactivity of CMC upon the interaction with zinc oxide. For the sensitivity of dimer CMC or the zinc oxide to NH3, H2S and HBr gases, this figure shows the model molecules representing ammonia, hydrogen sulfide, and hydrogen bromide gases, and also the model molecules representing the dimer CMC zinc oxide interacted with the three different gases. Also, total dipole moment and homo-LUMO band gap energy were also calculated for ammonia, hydrogen sulfide, hydrogen bromide gases, and also that we see that the total dipole moment changed, and also homo-LUMO band gap energy decreased for the three gases upon the interaction with dimer CMC zinc oxide model molecules. As we see that the absorption of different gases can effectively change the total dipole moment and band gap energy of CMC zinc oxide surface, so that it can be concluded that CMC zinc oxide nanocomposite can be used as a sensor for ammonia, hydrogen sulfide, and hydrogen bromide gases. Conclusion: as a result of metal oxide complexation and absorption, the dimer CMC band gap is reduced to half its value and total dipole moment increased to nearly 34 dpi. The absorption of different gases can effectively change the total dipole moment and band gap energy of dimer CMC zinc oxide structure. According to the charge distribution presented in the molecular electrostatic potential maps, all studied gases transfer a large amount of a charge to the atoms on the surface of dimer CMC with zinc oxide, and then become negatively charged, so that it could be concluded that CMC zinc oxide nanocomposite can be used as a sensor for NH3, H2S, and HBr gases. Thank you. Any questions?